validation, now I validate myself. Building inner strength, putting doubt up on the shelf. No more unnecessary drama, no more wasted time. Climbing higher constantly, making my own climb. Standing on higher ground, where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds. Raising the bar, breaking ground. My network is my net worth. Choose your company wise. Surround yourself with eagles, not with sheep in disguise. Every interaction is a reflection of my brand. Quality over quantity, that's my personal command. Standing on higher ground, where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds. Raising the bar, breaking ground. Whoa. I'm not just living, I'm manifesting my vision. Cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield. To mediocrity and chaos, I will never yield. I'm manifesting my vision, cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield. To mediocrity and chaos, I will never yield. Standing on higher ground, where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds. Raising the bar, breaking ground. I'm not just living, I'm manifesting my vision. Cutting through limitations with surgical precision. My expectations are my compass, my respect is my shield. To mediocrity and chaos, I will never yield.
How you doing, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to This and That. I'm your host, Xander, where we're talking about this, that, and everything in between. Woo! Today has been a very interesting day. Hardest Monday I've had in 2025 because it's the first Monday of 2025. All right. If you guys want to jump into tonight's show, you can always click the link in the comment section, approve the mic, approve the camera. You can get onto the show in real time. For the rest of you guys can leave your comments in the comment section down below. Make sure that you leave your special thanks, special likes, special emojis, throw your donations to the channel, show us some support. Really could appreciate that. We can benefit from that because, you know, YouTube take half of it. Either way, today we're supposed to be talking about traveling the world while making money. Make money for you. You know how it is. As I encourage you guys to like and subscribe on a regular basis, I want y'all to remember that we are live 7 nights a week. We are supposed to start off about 17 minutes ago, but, you know, we started a little bit late today. For anybody who wasn't paying attention, Raw went live on Netflix tonight. First time in 2025. And they're apparently going to be going live every Monday night at 7 o'clock, I do believe, Eastern time, which is around 8 o'clock Central time. And It looks like it runs right on into when my show starts. So I got to deal with trying not to compete with one of the largest entertainment platforms in the world, really, next to football. So as a content creator, small business owner, you understand that there's a lot of nuances that are involved with working out a business. And that's why I was sitting over here thinking, damn, for those of us that want to really get away from the 9 to 5, climbing the corporate ladder, the rat race, I figured that there would be another way for us to talk about how you guys can tackle the challenge of traveling the world while trying to build wealth fast and really determine, can you make it work? Imagine waking up every morning in a new exotic location, surrounded by breathtaking scenery and vibrant cultures. You're living in a dream, right? But what if I told you that you could have all of that while still building wealth fast? It's not just a fantasy, it's a viable lifestyle that many people are already doing. One of the biggest obstacles people face when they're trying to balance travel and wealth building is financial stability. How can you afford to travel the world when you're not making a steady income? Many people think that you need to have a lot of money saved up or win the lottery to travel extensively, but that's simply not true. Another challenge is job flexibility. Because, I mean, if you're not sitting on a massive inheritance or have a bunch of money sitting up somewhere where you're living off the interest, you're going to have to make money on a regular basis while you travel. Most traditional jobs require you to be physically present, which makes it difficult to travel freely. But what if you could work from anywhere in the world at any time? The third common challenge people face is perception that building wealth requires staying in one place for a long time. Many people think that you need to put down roots and establish a business or invest in real estate to build wealth. But with the rise of digital nomads, that's now no longer the case. The fourth challenge is the mindset shift required to make this lifestyle work. Many people programmed to believe the work and travel are mutually exclusive. That's not true. But that's a limiting belief that people are currently carrying that can hold you back from achieving your dream. There are many strategies and opportunities available for earning income while traveling. One of the most popular is remote work. With achievements of technology, many companies are open to hiring remote workers, which means you can work from anywhere in the world. Freelancing is another option where you can afford or offer your skills to clients all over the world. And you can also invest in dividend paying stocks or real estate investment trusts, which can provide a passive income stream. Now, many companies offer remote jobs that allow you to work from anywhere with an internet connection. Look for roles in writing, software development, marketing, or customer service that specify remote work options. Platforms like Upwork and Fiverr enable you to offer services such as graphic design, writing, or consulting while traveling. In 2024, there was a notable increase in remote job postings with over 222,072 vetted remote job postings reported by Virtual Vocations, marking a 7% increase compared to 2023. This growth indicates a robust demand for remote work across multiple sectors. These companies span various industries, including healthcare, telehealth roles such as medical coding and telemedicine practitioners, which is basically like prescribing medications over the phone, technology, software development, IT support, and data analysis, as well as finance positions like customer support representatives and virtual assistants. Opportunities in content creation, graphic designs, and marketing, reflecting the diverse opportunities available in the remote job market. Many companies are adopting work from anywhere policies that allow employees to travel while working remotely. This trend is particularly popular among freelancers and consultants who prioritize flexibility, including companies such as Voco Visions Incorporated, United Health Group, Ambry Genetics Corporation, Humana Incorporated, Senate Corporation. It's like Sentian Corporation, the Coalition Technologies, Allstate Insurance Companies, Microsoft Corporation, Amgen Incorporated, and Stripe Incorporated. The healthcare sector is increasingly utilizing telehealth services, landing a leading role to more remote areas of healthcare professionals. Another option, which I always like working for myself, if you start your own business, with that, there goes that internet again, such as starting your own business online, such as affiliate marketing or creating and selling digital products. The key is to find a business model that aligns with your skills and interests and that can be run from anywhere in the world. You can also monetize your travel by creating content around your experiences and sharing it with the world through blogging or vlogging. The difference between blogging is writing a story about where you're going, and vlogging is a video diary of what you've been doing. The difference between the two, very minimalistic. Consider investing in dividend paying stocks or index funds. This allows you to earn passive income while traveling, as these investments can generate returns without requiring your consistent attendance. Placing your money in high yield savings accounts or certificates of deposit allows you to earn interest with minimal risk, while returns may be lower compared to other investment opportunities. They can provide liquidity and safety. Owning rental properties or using platforms like Airbnb can provide a steady stream of income. And if you travel frequently, consider purchasing properties in popular tourist destinations to maximize rental potential. One of the downsides that I've noticed about Airbnbs is that either you have to clean those properties or you've got to pay a cleaning service, which means that the difference between them maintaining the property and your profit margin is going to cut into, but you can still do it. Plenty of people make millions off of Airbnb setups, where a lot of them actually rent the property from the owner of the property, sublet it to somebody else, pay somebody else to clean the property. So the person that's got the Airbnb is making a little bit of money just by networking, but they can network themselves into a massive profit without having to do too much of anything other than create a bunch of listings. Think about investing in dividend paying stocks that allows you to earn regular income from your investments. Companies that pay dividends typically distribute a portion of their earnings to the shareholders, providing a reliable income stream. And I did a whole show about this last year where I explained to you guys at least 25 or 30 different companies that would pay you guys dividends either quarterly, semi-annually, annually, and even when we're dealing with REITs, monthly, where you put your money up into the buy a bunch of shares into that company or a trust, and they pay you dividends monthly or quarterly or semi-annually, and you just keep getting that money on a regular basis, which allows you to spend the money that you made this month, knowing that you're going to be making more money next month. Well, until the market crashes, of course. REITs. REITs is another thing that are good. Real estate investment trusts that allow you to invest in real estate without directly owning properties. They pay out dividends from rental incomes generated by the properties they manage, making them a great option for passive income. Owning rental properties can provide a steady cash flow through monthly rent payments. And while this requires some initial investment and property management, it can yield a significant long-term return. Purchasing an annuity can provide a steady stream of income during retirement. Annuities requires an upfront investment but offers guaranteed payments over time. If you have equipment, vehicles, or even space in your home, consider renting them out through platforms like Airbnb for space, Fat Llama for items. There is, if I can remember correctly, actually, I can't remember correctly. There is a place, at least in the United States, it's a rental car company that has individuals who put up their personal cars up on this app. You can rent anything from a Cybertruck to a Lamborghini, and personal owners put the cars that they're not using up for rent, and people rent them out, and they make a decent income. Cars being rented out as high as $500 a day or more, depending on the limited accessibility of the vehicle. And you can make a decent profit off of that, depending on the value of the car and the prestige of the car and the price of the renter. And this can generate additional income with relatively low effort. Real estate crowdfunding platforms let you pool funds with other investors to finance real estate projects. And this method often requires lower capital than purchasing properties outright and can provide returns through rental income or property appreciation. Platforms like Lending Club allow you to lend money directly to individuals or small businesses in exchange for interest payments. This can be a higher risk investment, but offers the potential for significant returns. You can sell digital products such as ebooks, online courses, or printables that can generate passive income once the initial work is completed. So that would be more considered residual, because passive income is money that passes through you without you having to do anything about it. Residual income is you put in the work and then you keep getting the money long after that. Now, platforms like Udemy or Etsy can help you reach a broader audience. And once created, these products can generate income with minimal ongoing effort. You can start a travel blog, like we said earlier, or a YouTube channel, the way I've got going on. And you can document your adventures. You monetize through ads and sponsorships and affiliate marketing and brand collaborations, as you see me do from time to time, once you've built up your audience. By promoting products or services through affiliate links on your blogs or social media sites, you can earn commissions on sales generated through your referrals. This requires some upfront effort to build an audience, but can lead to ongoing income. If you're skilled in photography or graphic design, consider selling your work on platforms like Shutterstock or Redbubble. Once uploaded, these images can continue to generate income without additional work. Websites like Trusted House Sitting connect travelers with homeowners looking for sitters. This can provide free accommodations while earning some money. Participate in programs like WWOOF, Worldwide Opportunities on Organic Farms, or Workaway, where you can work a few hours a day in exchange for food and lodging. Many countries offer opportunities for natives and native English speakers to teach English as a second language. This can be a rewarding way to earn money while immersing yourself in new cultures. Or you can offer tutoring services in subjects you excel in at either online or local setups. And being the fact that education is so deprived right now that you can fill in the blanks where the teachers fail to teach the students, and you can make a lot of money on the side just teaching the students that want extra time to personally learn some stuff. You can mix and match classes if you like. You can set your own schedule with that. And if you're working all over the globe, you can potentially find a time slot that's good for you, that no matter what country you're in, you could teach students at that time. Now, granted, you got a 15-hour flight. You're probably going to take 2 days off so that you can fly to your next country and then get you some rest and then start teaching students. But that doesn't change the fact that you can literally just log on to the computer and start making yourself some money. And if they're booking classes around your travel time, you can literally open up your laptop and just start. How many are you doing? How many whats am I doing, bro? Because I mean, it depends on what you're talking about. Are you talking about the list of things that you can do in order for you to make yourself some money, in order for you to travel around the world? The list of play, because I did a whole show talking about all the stocks and bonds and investment opportunities that you can put your money in if you only had $200. Well, I mean, Brian, let's see what's going on, Rudis. What's going on, man? It's good to see you again. How's things going in the new year for you, buddy? So Brian, let's see. I've got 10 more pages of stuff to talk about, but I mean, I actually think I've crossed most of the list of things that I was covering. Happy New Year to you too, brother. Covering most of the things that's going on, but you got to understand, when you came to this particular podcast, this podcast is about helping people make themselves better. It's an easy way to go. Oh, hold on. He says just chilling, pretty good. Lonely should say, nah. I wouldn't say it's lonely. I would say it's peaceful, bro. I would say it's peaceful. Being surrounded by a bunch of stress is not as good as chilling and knocking it back by myself. I'm just going to be honest with you. I love doing me. I got my dogs with me, and then I got my dogs with me. So, it's good. It's always good. But yeah, Brian, you say that the list is long, but you got to think 99% of Americans are broke. And I just spent 23 minutes going over a list of things that we could do to make more money as we travel. He said, yeah, but still fine. Hey, it's all good. It's always good to be fine, man. Even when you feel alone, you're not alone because you always got me. You could just log into the podcast. He said, how many on that list that you do yourself is what I'm saying? Well, let's see. Gotta scroll all the way back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 6 or 7. Because I have investments in stocks, I have a real estate business, I have a nonprofit that's building housing for the homeless. I have I didn't do CDs, but I've got REITs going on. I am an online teacher, purchasing rental property this month. I have a dropshipping company on Amazon, and I don't. And I got a YouTube channel. So most of these. So I don't just talk about it, I be about it. Oh, and then I actually also do tutor people in person on top of that. Not just English, math, science, all the sciences really. So yeah. This isn't the type of podcast that's just like, oh, I'm gonna blow smoke and waste time. I'm not gonna sit here and waste your time. Ruderus will tell you that when I come, I bring you. I check your podcast. You're awesome. Hey, I really appreciate it. We're still making it big. Oh, you got it going on. Well, yeah, I'm not playing games, bro. You think I'm just gonna sit up here and just, oh, I'm gonna put this on so that I can look fancy, so that I can sit here and talk about ways for you to make money while I'm broke as fuck. Bro, all I own are expensive suits because I don't waste time spending money on shit that's not going to get me into some of the VIP places. And then on top of that, I could buy one suit that'll last me 10 years instead of buying one outfit that'll only last me until the summertime. I mean, I talk about spending responsibly because I feel like it is better. I told you were going to get back into chess. I told you you're just going to take a vacation until you get yourself organized, and then you'll get back into it. But yeah, Brian, I talk about ways to save money, invest money. I talk about ways of cutting down your debt, cutting down your expenses, cutting down wastefulness, making bad decisions, including wasting money on bad dates, just so that you can entertain somebody else when they have no value in you, and you are literally not benefiting from them. I do all of these talks on this podcast that leads to us redirecting our money to something better. And then now I'm sitting over here saying, hey, we're going to be traveling the world. If we're traveling the world, if you can afford to travel the world, you should do it. But the best way for you to afford to travel the world is to not have a budget that exceeds your income. You know, you've got to pay for the cost of travel. As soon as you leave out of the United States, you need $2,000 up front plus the $300 to get the passport for the first time. So that's like $2,500 to get out of Dodge. But if you're going to go there, you still need $2,000 to get back. So that's a $5,000 trip off the top. You still got to eat. You still got to pay for lodging while you're there. If you're coming back, you still got to pay for your standard of living here. So if your utilities and bills and everything like that is $5,000 to $10,000 a month, you're looking at a $20,000 vacation because $10,000 pays for you to stay here and $5,000 pays for you out there, and $5,000 gets you there and back. That's $20,000. Most people are sitting here thinking about those numbers like, shoot, that's half my annual income. That's why people don't travel. But if you're making money make money for you, you're living off the interest. If you invest the principal and you're living off the interest, then the interest is going to always come. And then you can make extra side money by doing stuff on the computer so that you can go wherever you want to go and make extra money. You have debit cards that does international transactions, or you can do wire transfers to different banks across the world. You have abilities to he's like, oh, okay, I'm in the process of studying for a Series 65 exam. Congratulations. The idea is, look, I've already gotten a microbiology, communication and health, and computer technology. And I can tell you, I am not using any of those degrees for making money outside of, well, you know, I teach. So a lot of people buy some of my classes and then they end up learning from me. And that's where I get my money from, my education. But I actually don't work in the field of medicine or the field of technology in order to make an income. I literally could have made an income by reading a bunch of books, Googling a bunch of stuff, and then just taking the knowledge that I got in passing and applied it to doing the exact same stuff that I'm doing right now. But, you know, education is valuable. So I got to encourage people to get an education. You just don't necessarily have to get it from a 4-year institution. Because while I did get a ton of debt from a 4-year institution, there were ways that I could get all of my stuff deferred for the rest of my life so I don't have to pay back any of those student loans. And I still got a pretty awesome credit score. So I was actually pretty impressed by that. So I went to college, learned a bunch of stuff, gave no money back, got tax deductions on the fact that I went to school. You make real income doing what you love. See, I make real income. I am going to start doing what I love. Kind of close. So the first thing you got to understand is that you're going to either love what you do, or you're going to love how much money you make doing what you do. Eventually, if you invest in yourself, you will be able to make enough money eventually to be able to do what you love and make money doing it. And that's what today's show is about, is finding ways to make you some extra money so that you can separate yourself from that 9-to-5 job that you hate, so that you can make money while doing what you love. Now, necessarily, me doing stuff on a computer, I don't necessarily have to love doing that, but I can love the fact that I do it whenever I want. I can also love the fact that I can do it wherever I want, as long as I have internet. I can love the fact that I'm not demanding in a job, if I don't want to be, 18 hours a day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or whatever, to the expectations of somebody else's schedule. In a way, because you say, when you love what you do, it's really not work no more. No, in a way it is true, but in a way that's not so much true. It's still going to be a little bit of work, but you're not going to be pissed off about it. Because, like, for example, people who love to teach, you still got to grade papers, you got to create course assignments, you got to create the materials. Online teachers, you've got to create unique materials for each individual student. You got to grade papers after they've done the essays and stuff. You got to now check for plagiarism now. You know that there's so much work behind that. Doing this podcast thing, you got to edit videos. You've got to filter out adult content. You've got to create new ideas. You've got to set up the show. You've got to do SEOs. You've got to deal with your Wi-Fi, your internet. There have been times where I had everything working until 5 minutes before the show aired, and then I had catastrophe first 10 minutes of the show. There's a lot of stuff behind just doing this podcast, just sitting here. This isn't all I do. I've got 150 edited videos that I haven't posted yet, and then I have 5 different social media channels that I got to put them in, and there's a lot of stuff that goes behind that. Then I have a different topic just about every day of the week, so I have to do research on different topics. I never bring you guys just mundane, random jargon that is a waste of your time. You literally learn something from sitting on this podcast, and then you take that with you and do whatever you want with it. You can do research on what I said and get more insight where I'm never wrong. So those people who disagree because their feelings are hurt, not because I'm wrong. But when they go and Google it, I can guarantee you, if you were to decide to take anything that I tell you and go and ask the Google lady, I can guarantee you that she'll tell you that everything I told you was correct. So the only thing that people are going to argue with me about is when I tell them the standard and non-negotiable expectations for behavior, and make sure that you stand on that when you're telling people how you're going to expect them to treat you the way you want to be treated, as you treat them the way you expect them to want to be treated. Mutual respect. I come from uniformity as opposed to the position of morals and ethics, because morals and ethics are biased. It's always in favor of the person that's performing it. It's subjective, but uniformity, it doesn't conform to morals and ethics, which means that if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it regardless of who it's getting done to, and accept the consequences of my actions before I perform the action. So whether or not it's right or wrong is irrelevant. If that's what's going to happen, that's what's going to happen. Which prevents people from being mistreated by me, because if I did it to him, I'm gonna do it to her. That's just how that works. Anyway, he says, it works no more. It's work no more. It's now fun and enjoyment. True, in a way, once you start loving what you do the way you do what you do, yeah, it can be very enjoyable. I can tell you that I do look forward to coming to the podcast on a regular basis, but I also understand that I've also been burnt out a time or two. I can say that traveling and recording what I'm doing while I'm traveling will be enthusiastic, because I'll be seen in different places, doing different things, meeting new people, and enjoying the fact that I'm doing that. Maybe be a little bit more of an unorthodox life, because I'd be just wandering around trying to find my way through a new city that I've never been in, and probably trying to get directions from the fans, as opposed to trying to sit here and figure out exactly how I can educate you guys on how to make money for yourselves, so that you don't got to work for the man. Start up your own business, because right now, in the Republican setting that we have right now, it's a capitalist country. Only businesses are making money off of the U.S. government. Everybody else is paying into it. So if you're not working for yourself, you're wasting your time. And I've actually found 5 countries that's got like 40% interest on the GDP, where if you go and invest in third world countries, or not even third world countries, just other countries that's not the United States, you can make money off of offshore. And if you've got offshore banking, you can make money offshore that's deposited offshore. And guess who doesn't know about that? Because the US only gets reported whatever US citizens report. So while you don't have to talk about the money you got overseas, you can have money in Switzerland, Romania, Brazil, Philippines. I talked to you guys about setting up a business in Japan. That's a foreign domestic business. If you claimed it on your taxes, the US government doesn't tax you for $120,000 of profit made in Japan. Japan gives you $23,000 to start up a business and hire 2 Japanese people. Japan costs less than $9,000 a year to live. So you're getting $23,000, which technically is the salary of 2 people for 12 months, where they can run your business for you until your business starts making enough profit to pay for itself. And as long as you're making less than $120,000 a year off of that business, you don't have to pay taxes in the US. And you could claim it in the US as a tax deduction, because if you've got a foreign business and it is in debt, the profits you're making in the US is offset by the debt you're making in Japan, which means you don't pay taxes on the profits you're making in America. But now when you go to Japan, you're going to Japan on business, which means you get a work visa, which means instead of you hanging out for 6 months or 3 months, you're there for a year, 2 years. And then the incentives of having kids over there, where they pay for the children until they're 18, regardless of what your income is, because they're trying to repopulate over there. So $9,000 a year could cover a family of 5. Where in America, $9,000 a month will cover a single person in California. Just think about this, y'all. He says, I don't see why somebody would do something they don't like and keep doing it. That's insane. Brian, people go to work every day and hate their job. People go to work every day and hate their coworkers. People go to work every day and hate their boss. People go to work every day and hate the customers that don't show them respect. Look at cops. They hate everybody they socialize with from the time they clock in until the time they clock out. And they signed up for that. You understand? The fact is that the majority of people go to work to survive. It's a million more jobs. There's a million more jobs, but you got to realize that the working class gets what they can so that they can pay for their standard of living. Even if you went to school for this, you still got a job that's covering your standard of living. Look at what's going on in California right now. You've got people in California right now getting minimum wage is $40 an hour. And you know, minimum wage is always half of living wage. So if $40 an hour is minimum wage in California, living wage is $80 an hour in California. So if you really want to get a good job, certain things are outside of your wheelhouse because you don't have the skill set. So now you got to take what you can get. You're happy that you got a job, but you don't like the job. You also got to remember that in a capitalist country, when you're working for people, this is a right to work country where you don't have the right to work. They can fire you for whatever reason. The only reason why they don't is because they don't want to pay you unemployment for 12 months. So you have the issue that you go to work and your boss will treat you like garbage to force you to quit. And if you don't quit, you're dealing with a hostile environment where there's very few lawyers that'll represent you when suing the company for a hostile environment. And if you don't have enough money to put down that $5,000 to $10,000 retainer to sue them, even if you did have a case, no lawyer would take up the case. So you could be mistreated because you're too broke to sue people for screwing you over. That's just the way America works. I mean, but then those people who have a bunch of money lying around, they can file frivolous lawsuits on a day-to-day basis and win them. You've got some of those First Amendment guys running around causing trouble just so that they can sue and make money off of it. It is what it is. Some people make that a job to get out there and fight with the police, arguing about their First Amendment rights. Look, after Rodney King, bro, I don't want to have no conversations while driving a Hyundai. I ain't even trying to do it. But you got to think about the fact that if you love what you do, keep doing it. If you love the money that you make and the money is legal, keep doing it. If you can make the money that you love to make, doing what you love to do, that is living the dream. And that's why I wanted to talk to you guys about today, because I feel like that's something that can be done. It is achievable. We just got to apply ourselves to it. Until we apply ourselves to it, we're really going to be waking up every morning or waking up every afternoon because we work the graveyard shift. We're going to be going somewhere, doing something for somebody else that will make money for them so that they could be on a yacht sipping Mai Tais while we're knee deep in feces because the toilet backflowed in the kitchen, and we're going to be pissed off at what we're doing for a living. But they're not. They're rolling over in the middle of the day thinking about how they can make extra money. They're golfing on the top floor of the yacht, golfing in the ocean while they're making $1 million business deals, and we're getting paid minimum wage to cover somebody's shift because they couldn't come to work. Now that's the way the big city where Mississippi don't work like that. Yeah. Hey, look, I come out of Louisiana. I know how it is, bro. I know how it is. I can tell you. Look, matter of fact, I drove cross country last year or year before last, because it was November 2023. I drove cross country, and I can tell you, I drove through Alabama. I seen my first active cotton field. And I tell you what, I was one U-turn away from going back into the people's yard and trespassing just so that they could feel awkward about two black folks picking cotton in their front yard. I'm telling you, I was about to get out there and make it work. What the police gonna tell me? What you doing over here? Well, Master said keep working. I would have caused so much trouble over there, but I was like, nope. We're on a time crunch. This is gonna be. I'll go viral doing this on the way back. But I'm gonna tell you something. The fact is, though, as long as you ain't causing nobody no trouble, like that boy that got shot in that mall, chasing somebody down in the mall, tormenting them over a YouTube views, you can do whatever you want to do out here and make you some money. But working now, they self-driving. Oh, bro, hold on. Let's talk about. You want to talk about self-driving? Let's talk about how Amazon just did a union, right? They boycotting. They're demanding extra money. They're going to get the extra money, but they work for a company where Jeff Bezos just bought Digitech last year in the summer and put almost 700,000 robots into the warehouses. Now, you've seen the Amazon workers go back to work where every other dolly was not pushed by a human. Every other forklift was not driven by a human. Now, this union had better be smart and make it mandatorily contracted that a minimum quantity of employees must be on the payroll. Otherwise, they will switch over to 100% machines and dispose of all of the human workers in that warehouse. And that whole union will be unemployed. Because do you know that when unions take over a company, it makes the profit share drop by, what was it, $42,000 or $45,000 an hour? That's a lot of money that the company loses. The shares go down by a lot, but it also blocks jobs, because since it's a union job, you got to work for the union in order to get hired by Amazon. And that's going to suck, because as they replace human workers with machines, the union is making mandatory reparations for hours worked until they're no longer needed for that quantity of hours. Then what? Starbucks is doing the same thing. But Elon Musk just made a whole bunch of machines that look like iRobot, and they're making margaritas and driving cars and all this stuff. And you're sitting over here telling me that you're going to boycott a coffee machine when Elon Musk just made a dozen robots that makes martinis. What? So those same robots can sit over there and mix coffee at Starbucks better than a human, which even at $100,000 a robot over the course of 10 years, that is $10,000 a year for the robot. These people are talking about, these big businesses are talking about getting $3.50 an hour off of machinery, where the people are costing $30, $40 an hour. You're looking at, if you're not making money on a computer, you is not making money nowhere unless you're in the technology industry where you're making the software or making the machines or repairing the machines, because those are going to be the three jobs left outside of healthcare and bank tellers until they replace bank tellers with machines. Just saying. Skynet is going to have a Tesla logo on the front and a Digitech logo on its ass. I'm just saying. But they still have a person drive. No, that, and they crank it up. No. Once it's in place and Rowan goes by itself. No, that's what you don't understand. No, when the floor manager can turn all the machines on. So the hourly workers can be replaced by salary workers, and the salary workers can turn on all the machines. So while there's one manager for every 50 to 75 employees, you can have one manager for every 200 to 300 robots. One manager and one maintenance guy. That's two people. The other 500 people can still get fired, bro. The people who boycott it don't got to turn the machine on, because the same person that makes sure that you clock in and counts the inventory is the same person that could turn on the machines. And all they need is one or two people in there to fix them. That's it. So everybody else is out of a job. He's like, yeah, y'all gonna be fucked. Cities, man. We do everything. Look, I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. They're crazy. They're crazy. They're crazy. The stuff that they thinking about, they thinking that they're making a difference, but you're not. And then also think about this. Every time you cost the company money, the company offsets that debt onto the customer. So wages are going to go up. The cost of the product is going to go up. How is the cost of product going to go up? They're going to charge more for Amazon fulfilling. So drop shippers are going to have a higher premium that they're going to have to pay. And in order for those drop shippers to offset that higher premium, they're going to charge more for their Amazon products, which means that people who buy stuff from Amazon is going to start paying more money. Oh, you're talking about the tractors. Yeah, the tractors are self-run for right now in the cotton fields. I know what you're talking about. I helped build one of them. Well, yeah, the tractors in the cotton fields are man-driven right now. But you got to also think about the fact that they don't necessarily need to put machinery in the cotton fields with 200,000 Mexicans crossing the border every month. They really just got to take 20 Mexicans a month and give them a job. You know, Camilla's talking about some spending tax dollars to help them find jobs in Mexico. I'm talking about put them over there in the orange grove so that the orange juice can go back down in Florida. You know, you need to put them over there in Wisconsin somewhere so that salad can go back down to $3 a salad instead of $8 a salad. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's put these guys to work instead of sending them back. You know, give them a job, give them a real job, give them the kind of job. Look, work them for room and board. Talk about 1965. Just bring them over, give them food, give them clothes, and put them out into the field. If that doesn't bring you back memories right before World War I don't know what will. That's why I'm taking Series 65 exam. I'm about to take advantage, because there is no way people that dumb, bro. People are neurotic. I'm going to be honest with you. People are out there. So many people will get a large stack of money, whether they win a lottery, get an insurance claim, win a lawsuit, whatever, and they will take that money and they will do the dumbest thing that anybody can do. And once I tell you about it, you're gonna be like, oh shit, that's probably what I would have done. They go and pay debt. They start paying off. Some are wasteful and just buy a bunch of stuff, but others will turn back around and they just pay debt. And you know how that is the worst decision to make. You get $1 million, you shouldn't be paying no debt with no $1 million. You should invest $1 million and take the interest and go pay debt. That way you still got the $1 million. If you spend $1 million on debt, guess what? The people you owe money to are paid off, but you are still broke. You get $1 million, you should not buy you a $500,000 house. You should buy you a $250,000 house. But you buy you a $250,000 house after you invest $750,000 into an interest-bearing account somewhere, making you some money somewhere so that you can start making that $250,000 back. You want to mortgage that $250,000 house for $125,000. And you're going to say, well, I just paid it off. Why would I mortgage it? Because they're about to tax your ass for the other $250,000. And when they tax your ass that other $250,000, they're going to tax you almost $250,000. So if you have a $250,000 worth of debt, there goes the taxes. All I'm saying is there's a lot of ways that we can make money for ourselves. And it is a shame that it's common knowledge, and common knowledge is not common. Tax is voluntary, but guess what? Tax can actually be an asset because lenders actually look at your taxable income. So you got to owe somebody you got to make enough money to owe the government money in order for you to be able to say that you got enough money to borrow against somebody else's assets. If you're paying taxes with the U.S. government, the U.S. government will then you'll be able to write off some of the stuff that you do. But the fact is that blanket, it actually just really it's a big business situation. It allows them to make money off of you and then pay all the big wigs in Congress, but it allows them to put money towards the programs that a lot of the poor people are trying to benefit from. So there's a lot of things going on there. It's not just a spin of the wheel, but there is a trick. Oh, you're about to say it's tricky. Got to know how to play look. You're right. You got to know how to play the game. You know that if they owe you money, you ain't got to file taxes because you're just not going to get your refund. But if you owe them money, they'll put you in prison for tax evasion. So if you got some 1099s that are not where they're taking 30% of your income, especially after Trump does the shift to 15% flat rate for under $169,000 and 30% for above $169,000. Hey, if they take 30% out of your money, you ain't got to file no taxes because they're gonna be like, oh shit, I owe this man money. Nah, I'm straight. We ain't even gonna rock the boat with this one, because if we rock the boat with this one, he might show enough deductions where we got to cut him a check after the penalties. They'll let you go. So you just got to make enough money to make money for you. And then everything else, everything above that is a cost of doing business. And America's a walking business. The church is a walking business. The school is a walking business. I'm going to tell you right now, Byron, you got kids, invest in a local public school, because guess what? Public schools are non-profit organizations, which means that you can donate to your child's school every month, every year, and get that as a tax write-off, which means that you pay less money on taxes, you take better care of your kid's education, and then the principal of whatever school your kid goes to will be kissing your behind because you are helping subsidize their budget. It don't matter if you giving them $500 a month. It don't matter if you giving them $1,000 a month. If you are a large investor in that public school, think about this. The money that you would be paying for tuition at a private school, if you invested that in a public school, you'd be a god. You'd be the biggest dog on the block. They'd be kissing you behind. They'd be bending. They'd be bowing to you when you walk into the room because, like, you're a big investor in a public school. And people are, oh, public schools ain't nothing. Difference between a public school and a private school is how many fights are reported to the police. That's it. that is it. The accessibility to technology. So you can give the next generation more accessibility to knowledge if you invest in the public schools instead of waiting on the U.S. government to invest in the public schools. One of the reasons why, even though you're right, taxes is voluntary, the fact is that if you pay into the taxes, more money that goes into taxes, more money the government can put into education. The more money you put into taxes, the more money the government can put into healthcare. The more money you put into taxes, the more money the government can put into your Social Security, disability, and your Social Security retirement funds, so that when you quit working, you can get money from the government because you didn't put any money away. But the less money you pay into taxes, the more shit you got to pay for yourself. So what they're not teaching us in high school, economics, they're not teaching us home ec. And home ec isn't what women think it is, which is vacuum cleaners and irons and shit. No, home ec is how to make sure that you like and subscribe now. Home ec is about balancing your paychecks, balancing your budget, investing, saving. You're going to college. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you haven't been taking out student loans, take out student loans. Your student loans are between 4% and 6% interest. I just said a while ago, it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. There's a real estate investment trust called Orchid. Google it. I can tell you right now, you can find it on Stash. There's an app on your phone that's called, that you can download onto your phone, called Stash. Not Cash App, Stash, STASH. You download that app. Google the word Orchid. And I'm a type it. If I can remember how to spell it. ORCHAD. I think that's how you spell it. Oh no, there's an R in there. Orchid. You Google that, and it's going to give you a company that's a real estate investment trust. That real estate investment trust, last time I looked at it, $8.24 per share, giving you 18.46% interest back. Take out student loans, go and buy that real estate investment trust, take the dividends and reinvest it into that trust until you finish college. When you finish college, you will make more money back than what you owe them in student loans. Then you have them pay you dividends. You take the dividends, put it towards your student loans. Your student loans will be tax deductible towards the profits that you made off of the real estate investment trust. Bro, you are making money. Look, he said, I got that. Invest $15 a day to a smart portfolio. Right. Okay. So since you already got it, go and look at Orchid. I can tell you right now, if you go and look at Orchid, it is 18% interest. So you could take your student loans. You got subsidized student loans that are deferred until you graduate, which is 0 interest until you graduate. You have unsubsidized that are also deferred, but they're interest bearing until you graduate college. But all student loans from college that are coming from the college, not the ones that are coming from the private lenders. The ones from the private lenders are a little bit higher, but the ones from the college are usually between 4.7% and 7.5% interest rates. And it is deferred. The payments are deferred. So if you take a loan from a college for your education while you're going to college, oh, you got Orchid on Robin? Good. Get more of it. Because if you do that, you're going to get the 18.46% interest that you get back from Orchid, offset by the 4 to 7% that you would pay back for your student loans, is approximately 11% profit off of their money. All you got to do is just stay in school and defer it until you graduate. So I'm telling you, there are ways that you can make money. And then because until Donald Trump changes it, because you're paying on your student loans, student loans are tax deductible, dollar for dollar, tax deductible against any profits that you make. So if you're taking the interest now, not the principal, you're taking the interest, putting it on a student loan, you're doing two things. You're boosting your credit score, you're getting deductions that's going to keep you from having to pay taxes on the profit you made off of the money you invested from them, and you are able to have yourself a more financially stable scenario, because now most people who get out of college don't have enough money to pay their student debt. Their student debt ruins their credit, and they're not making enough money to cover their standard of living. You take what are they giving you right now? $10,000 to $20,000 a semester 4 times a year, you're only going to use about 8 or 9,000 of that every semester, and the other $15,000 that you don't spend on your education, your grants, scholarships, and loans all combined, the other $15,000 that you don't spend on your education, you're paying for your standard of living. If you took that money and you put it into a 18% situation where they're only going to charge you 4 to 7% interest over the years, you would be able to drop down legit 60,000 a year from your education into the stock market. I don't know why ain't nobody talked about this during orientation, but you could be making money off of going to college. It's not about going to college to get a degree. It's about going to college to get you some money. You understand? The degree is a piece of paper. You could buy that shit online. The money that you made off of going to college and the connections that you made while you in college is the reason why you go to college. Prestigious colleges like Yale and Harvard aren't prestigious because you get a good education. It's prestigious because famous people went there and got a degree and then went and did something prestigious. So the college is only famous because famous people went there. Dig this. Where I'm at in Mississippi, nobody even understands stock markets, but they love betting on NFL games and lose. Now, think about that. That is smart. I love the way you're talking about this. So many people don't know about Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is at $99,000 right now per coin. Last year in March, 2023 in March, not last year. I'm saying last year like this was like today is 2025. So 2 years ago in March of 2023, Bitcoin was $20,000. If you would have invested in Bitcoin, you would have had right now, I think it's like 800 or 900% increase on whatever percentage of a Bitcoin that you could afford to put in. If you would have put in 20 grand, you would have gained 70 grand profit. If you would have put in $2,000, you would have gained a $7,000 profit. But nobody knows about Bitcoin. They know about getting their TD Ameritrade stock and investing in Tesla. But you know that if you invest in T-Mobile, what they're doing to T-Mobile fiber, you'll be making a lot more off your money with a lower capital investment. People don't think about that either. Been invested since the summer of 22. Yeah, back when the stock was lower, back when it was $5,000 or $10,000, and you can actually put a hold on your money and get a 4% guaranteed interest off of Bitcoin using your money as leverage against the stock market. In addition to the money that you're trading, where you'll be making a base 4% on most of your money, and the rest of your money will be fluctuating. You can use trade bots from Pionex to help you get more from your efforts, where you don't have to sit there and watch it. You can just skim off the top. I've used that before. It actually does work. You can get about 20 or 30%, even if you do it wrong. And if you're doing it right, you can get even more. That's every day. I put up, at one time, I had put up $250 just to see how it would work. And I made $30 in 5 days. I was like, whoa. And I was like, give me that. Give me that. I started understanding crypto after Bitcoin hit 30,000. Yeah, me too. I started understanding at 15,000, but I really started understanding how and when to buy and sell, and other areas of Bitcoin, like how to hold certain quantities of capital and other such. I'm starting to learn now about how to take all of my assets and putting it into a trust so that I don't personally have to pay taxes on it. And if you put it into a trust and you have a trust bank account and your trust bank account issues dividends, then the trust bank account can have an automatic ACH transfer where it just sends me money. And now I'm just getting money from a third party, which isn't taxable income. So I'm learning things. That the apprenticeship situation that does not exist in a low income environment or the moderate income environment for anybody that's making under 200,000 a year, there's no apprenticeship scenario where we can sit there and teach our kids and be taught from our elders how to make, save, and invest money. Because saving money is not putting money in the bank. because the only person that's making money off the money you're putting in the bank is the bank. Saving money is when you're not spending money unnecessarily and then taking the money that you didn't spend unnecessarily and putting it somewhere where that money can make money for you so that you don't have to work hard. The American dream, capitalist American dream, is to get to a point where you don't have to work, but money is still coming to you. That's the dream. You want a family. You want some kids. You want a dog. You want a white picket fence. You want 2 electric cars in the front yard and solar panels and all this other stuff. But you don't want to have to leave to go to work, but money is still coming in. Yeah, you might have a passion that might be a career, but you don't want to have to get paid from that career. You want to go there because you feel like it. And if you're making money off of it, that's awesome. But you want to have money that you can fall back on. Even if it's a poor paying job, you're not there for the money. So you don't have the stress on your plate about not being able to make ends meet. You should never have make ends meet in your vocabulary if you're successful. And he says, yeah, got to have your own ecosystem. I'm telling you, if you can find a way to get off the grid, you're talking about, I know they got some states that are not even doing the dollar for dollar return on the electricity anymore, which I don't really care. It's good to get into if I can make some money off of it, but I don't care if I'm not getting dollar for dollar. If I don't got to give the electric company any money, I'm good. Here's something a lot of people don't think about. Everybody posts they self all over social media. They doing stuff that they ain't got no business doing. They all of their personal information is public record. Even the 3 major they're not credit bureaus, they're agencies. There's only one credit bureau, but the 3 major Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. You got to go check that, bro. You got to go check that. Take all them extra names off of there. Take all those extra phone numbers off of there. Take all them extra addresses off of there. These people be stalking you and you don't even be paying attention to it. Then they sell your information to other people for profit. Now you got all these bastards calling you, trying to ask you to buy something that you wasn't interested in just because you clicked the button on your cell phone. If you erase your carbon footprint, you erase your public records where there's no information on you, that not all of it is going to be able to be erased, because it's not like you got money to scrub the internet, but the majority of it can be removed. And if you remove the majority of it, then you'll have less hassle. If you're off the grid, and a lot of cities and states in the United States have this law that's unenforced, where you have to update your address within 90 days of moving. All you have to do is just say, this is my current address. That does not have to be the truth, because who is really going to open a Fed level investigation to confirm that you live where you live? As long as they have a mailing address to send you the subpoena or mail you a ticket, you can have a post office box as your primary address attached to your driver's license, and they are not going to complain. Long as they can mail you a ticket when they want to mail you a ticket, and as long as they can mail you a court order when they want to mail you a court order, they don't really care where you live. So you don't have to update that information on a regular basis, which means that nobody needs to know where you live. Nobody needs to know how much money you're making, because you don't have to report that. You report how much money that you want them to tax you. But if you're making money and they're taking money out of your pocket on a regular basis because there's automatic withholdings out of whatever business that you're doing, that's it. They don't need to really know what else you got going on. And if you're not World Star showing off all the stuff that you bought, where people will report you and then have the IRS come and audit you, if you don't have that going on, then nobody really cares that you're making money. If you start flying around and you start doing stuff, and everything that you're doing under some kind of I'm not even going to say LLC, because people say do it under an LLC. Fuck that shit. Do it under a C corporation. Because if you do it under a C corporation and you donate 10% to the charity, you get your tax deduction. If you control a charity, you can actually donate it to yourself and then do a charitable act. And if you record yourself doing a charitable act, people might donate to your charity. You, as an executive member of your charity, can get an income from your charity. And then guess what happens to that money? All right. So This is why Donald Trump was paying settlements out of his charity, because look, I'm gonna tell you something now. There's a method to the madness. You know, remember in 2017 when the man borrowed money from himself at 500% interest. So now his campaign is paying him back for the rest of his life 500% interest on, I do believe, a $50 million loan that he did on himself. So as long as the money works itself out, it's the cost of doing business. But you got to, the only reason why it's the cost of doing business is when you're making more money than you're spending. And making more money than you're spending is not just making a dollar over what you spend. Making more money than you're spending is typically you're doing good business when you're making 60% or more than what you spend. That's when you're doing good business. Technically, you're doing great business when you're making 80% more than what you spend. But typically, when you're trying to expand, you want to invest 40% back into yourself. So if you're turning about a 60% profit out of all the money that comes your direction, you're doing a good job. And you'll come to find that this is a slap in the face, because guess who tells you the same thing? The mortgage lender. Your debt to income should be about 40 to 43%. You are a walking business. If your business is not making profits, you do not have equity in yourself, which means you can't borrow anything. It makes things harder. You got to put more money up front. They're not going to go on faith. You're never going to make it to that black card invite only if you don't know how to buy, save, and invest. You want to buy you want to own one brand new car so that you don't know how to fix it, but you want to lease all the rest of the brand new cars so that you don't have to have all of this depreciative assets all over the place. You really only need 2 cars, one to use and one in case one breaks, so that you always have a car to use. But if you're living in an area where it's cheaper to take an Uber, you really only need 1 car that you own. That's it. You know, you want to buy stuff that's up, and then for those individuals who have businesses and they buy everything under the business, the only time you're buying a new car is when you need a tax deduction, because 100% of the value of the car is written off the first year that you buy it. That's when you go and buy you a new car, because they're about to tax you 50 grand. You want to buy you a $40,000 car plus taxes. That's how this is the way that debt is in your favor. The other thing that we talked about before, if you've got assets, you can leverage your assets as a cash loan. So you want to build up the stocks and bonds and stuff so that you can take a cash loan out against those stocks and bonds, and then use that cash loan to be able to buy stuff cash up front. And then the dividends off of the stocks and bonds and everything goes and pays off the cash loan. Now you don't have any, because again, debt is tax deductible. So the profits from the stock pays off the debt, pays off the student loans. You don't have to pay taxes on the dividends from the stock because you're paying off debt with the dividends from the stock. But you own everything, and your debt is separate from your assets. You got the title to the house, you got the title to the car, you got the title to the yacht, and your stocks are paying off your debt. Most billionaires are 50%. 100% of their $1 billion of debt is offset by 100% of their $1 billion of profit. On paper, they break even, but they're billionaires. Fact is, the rest of us are just broke because we spend every dollar that we make, and not very many people can say that they got $10,000 in their bank account, and not very many people have an idea as to what to do. And that's one of the reasons why I tell you guys on the show that we got to change our mentality. We got to change what we're doing. We got to change how we invest ourselves into our friends and family and our network. We cannot be the most successful person in our network. We have to find somebody that is more successful than us, because if we are providing our resources to the people that are less successful than us, then we're going to run out of resources eventually. This has to be a pass-through scenario. A few people below you that are working their way up to your level, and a few people above you where you're working your way up to their level. They pass down resources to you. You pass down resources to them. You always got resources. If you're going to be the biggest dog on your block, you need to have contracts set up with your homies where whenever you do something for them, you get it back with interest, and you're going to get it back with interest before you do anything else with them or for them. And they're going to note that just like Amscott, they are not about to borrow from you until they pay you back from the last time they borrowed from you. And you got to get every penny back with interest. I don't care if we homies from way back when. You could have saved me out of a burning building, but I am not about to take a third of my income and pay for your stupidity because I am going to go broke and you don't have enough money to cover me when I run out of money. So I am not about to do that. Stop wasting all this money on these dinner dates and everything like that, because all this money that you're spending on a person for 3 hours, you can go to the Philippines and get you a woman for $500 a month. I don't understand why we waste money on the things that we wouldn't waste money on. But when I was sitting here thinking about today's show, I was like, shoot, there's so many ways that we can go and we can make money off the computer. We can make money off of our cell phones. We can make money off of so many different things where we don't have to break our backs. We don't have to bust our kneecaps. We don't have to sprain our ankles. You know, we're not sitting out there putting our lives in danger in order to make a buck. And we can, like you said earlier, do stuff that we love what we're doing and still be able to draw back a profit where we can live comfortably. Comfortably is the goal. But if you can live lavishly, then by all means, go ahead and live lavishly. But remember, a lot of successful people say that if you can look around and you can see more money in stuff than what you can see money in your bank account, broke and stupid. So you want to have $1 million worth of assets? You want to have $1 million worth, you want to have $10 million worth of cash in somewhere, in the investment, stocks, bonds, banks, somewhere. You want to have somewhere, because you can't go broke. If all your stuff is taken from you, you got to have some cash to fall back on, because otherwise you did something wrong. I know a lot of us want to leave a legacy for our kids. My legacy is going to be the success of the people around me. By the time I'm done doing what I'm doing, so many people are going to be able to tell you, hey, man, I was on Xander's podcast and Xander told me so many things. And now look at me. I got this, I got that. I done this, I done that. You know, I went from working for somebody else to working for myself. You know, you can hire your kids and your wife as employees and have a family business under an LLC. You know that the allowance that you give your kids can be a paycheck that's tax deductible off the business, which means that instead of the kids just getting paid to be cute, the kids can actually do some stuff around the house and be useful. You could teach them responsibility at a young age. You could teach them how to invest at a young age. You could teach them how to make money for themselves, so that by the time they're 20, they got money. You could be the first generation of wealth, but you can teach the second and third generation how to be wealthy, so that the second and third generation can reinforce that and teach the fourth and fifth generation. That way you have generational wealth like the Rockefellers. The only reason why Will Smith's family, not Will Smith, Kobe Bryant's family is making all that money is because Kobe followed the plan. Kobe taught his wife. Kobe's wife is following the plan. Kobe's wife's going to tell the kids. Kobe's kids is going to follow the plan. The surviving ones, at least. So every Bryant from here on out should have an inheritance. Mine's clean up for free. Hey, that's how you do it. He also said money is currency. It has to flow, and you're right. It does have to flow. As you guys come in, make sure you guys like and subscribe. When I had kids, I got to tell you something. I actually was dating a girl that had 2 kids, and one of them was one just turned 2. The other one was 3. The mom would leave to go do something because she didn't have a job. And I was at the house with the kids because, you know, I make money from the house. I don't have to leave to go work for anybody else. So while she was gone, I had the 2 kids. By the time she came back, they were doing dishes. They just finished mopping the floor and doing everybody's laundry. They vacuumed the floor, put all their toys away. I'm sitting at the computer. The kids come over. They're, you know, mommy, look what we did. She said, how did you get them to do that? Negotiation. They got juice instead of water for dessert. I mean, for dinner, to clean the whole house. They get a snack before dinner to clean the whole house. That was $3 between 2 kids for 4 hours of work. It's like a sweatshop, I'm telling you. And she didn't understand it. The art of proposition. If I get what I want from you, you get what you want out of me within reason. And then the positive praise that the kids get because they're doing a good job at that age, they're more interested in positive recognition than they are interested in gifts. So pay them in praise, high fives, big hugs. Let's hang out a little bit before bedtime and watch an extra movie or something like that. And that attention that they get because they helped you out makes them determined to help you out. Then when things start getting hard, they're going to make it their duty to help you out. Teach them from small. They'll take care of you when you're old. But if you teach them how to save and make money, then they will make money with you. And then they'll make money for you. And then you can retire and pass over the responsibilities onto them and live off of their success as they live off of their success. So, that's one of the reasons why I was doing today's show, because I tell you guys all the time that it is important for us to find other ways to make money for us. So one of the other things that I was talking about earlier was us engaging with the locals when we're traveling. And you want to get involved in some of their local events and get involved with some of their workshops. And when you're doing social media groups, you can find other ways to make you some money there. And then networking, which can lead you to some jobs and opportunities and collaborations that can enhance your travel experiences and also give you some more financial situations. And there's this new term out there that people are starting to use as more and more often is digital nomads. I have a story about this girl named Sarah. As a digital nomad, she was traveling the world for the past 5 years while building her wealth, and she was doing it quick. She started her journey as a freelance writer, but soon discovered her passion for photography and videography. She began creating content around her travels and monetizing it on her YouTube channel and Instagram, as opposed to being one of those Instagram models. And she invested in real estate investment trusts and dividend-paying stocks, which provided passive income streams. Today, she's living in Bali, working on her own schedule and earning six-figure income on top of that. Sarah's story is a kind of inspiring story that I ascribe to. And what can we learn from her experience? Firstly, she was willing to take the leap and pursue her passion, even when it seemed uncertain. Secondly, she diversified her income streams to maximize the risk or minimize the risk and maximize the wealth. Thirdly, she was intentionally about investing in assets that would generate passive income, meaning that she didn't have to do nothing else, money on the take, and she was going to get money back on the back end. Lastly, she was open to learning and adapting to new situations. So as you guys can see, traveling the world while building wealth fast is not just a dream. It is a reality that many people, including me and Byron that are talking about it today, are already willing to live that lifestyle. It requires a mindset shift, financial planning, and willingness to take calculated risks. But the payoffs is worth it. The freedom to live on your own terms, to experience new cultures, and to build wealth that will last a lifetime is the payoff of this particular venture. As we enter the 2025 year, the landscape of remote work continues to evolve, with more companies embracing flexible work arrangements. Job seekers can explore a wide range of opportunities across various industries that not only allow for remote work, but also support a lifestyle of traveling and flexibility. And for those looking to build wealth while traveling, these remote positions offer valuable pathways to achieve both career and personal goals. And furthermore, there are numerous ways to build passive income streams that align with your interests and financial goals, whether through investments, digital products, or leveraging existing assets, creating multiple streams of passive income that can enhance your financial security and freedom over time. By leveraging remote work opportunities, creating passive income streams, utilizing sharing economy, and engaging in creative endeavors, you can build a wealth lifestyle, enjoying the freedom of traveling the world without putting in very much effort. And the key is to planning strategically, stay organized with your finances, and remain open to new opportunities that arise during your travels. So, I want to thank you guys for coming to tonight's show. I'd love to hear from you in the comments, the way Byron did, even after the show. What's holding you back from pursuing your dreams of traveling the world while building wealth? Share your thoughts and let's continue this conversation. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and also hit that notification bell for more travel and wealth buildup tips. And I want to make sure that you guys know, we're going to be talking about coming soon some amazing travel tips for digital nomads, in addition to some of the other things that we were talking about on the show today. As we wrap things up, I want you guys to note that we are live 7 days a week, and we're still going to be kicking things off at that same 10 o'clock Central Standard Time, which is 2200 hours. Special shout out to Red Void and Liberty Twitcher and Omni81. We really appreciate you guys for coming to the show. Max the Poser, Reese, Mr. Pibbs, Light Blue 9. We really appreciate you guys for coming to the show, showing us love. Without y'all, we wouldn't know where we'd be at, because y'all make us who we are. As I say on my way out the door every day of the week, ladies, as long as the situation doesn't make sense, I'm going to keep asking y'all to make it make sense. So ladies, please make it make sense. And for the fellas, again, I really appreciate you guys' support. Special shout out to Byron one more time as we wrap things up. And I am your host, Xander, for This and That, where we talk about this, that, and everything in between. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Higher ground. Used to chase validation, now I validate myself. Building inner strength, putting doubt upon the shelf. No more unnecessary drama, no more wasted time. Climbing higher, constantly making my own climb. Standing on higher ground, where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds, raising the bar, breaking ground. My network is my net worth. Choose your company wise. Surround yourself with eagles, not with sheep in disguise. Every interaction is a reflection of my brand. Quality over quantity, that's my personal command. I'm not mounted on higher ground, where excellence is found. My potential knows no bounds, raising the bar, breaking ground.